layout and your design can look almost exactly the same on all browsers, which is nice when you're going for a consistent look and feel. And then one thing I actually forgot to add into there is that if you do have a school-approved template, if you have something that your web designer has come up with and that you have to stick with, that is kind of half your battle done. At CEU, we don't have to rigidly stick to our school-approved template, and so I was kind of free to choose our layout and our graphics and the color scheme that we used on our Blackboard login page. And part of that Blackboard login page was basically deciding on which way I wanted to go. We also included custom, just basically a CSS style sheet in there that has our like our colors and different themes set up for our custom login page. And then from here, what we want to decide is if we're going to take the actual code from the default login page, which has a lot more JavaScript than you really need. I kind of liken it to, the Blackboard login page. The default one has everything and the kitchen sink. So it includes, all the browser checks, all the JavaScript checks, things that, are essential. But what I found is I could go in there and kind of streamline some of that process. And so if you're going to do that, go that route rather than using the widgets, which Blackboard provided a set of kind of their HTML, specialized HTML comment tags that have some special characters that when it's loaded through Blackboard, it actually lets you it actually finds it and then processes those widgets. So they're kind of shortcut elements to the login page. So one way is kind of the longer route, but offers you more customization. And these widgets allow you to just basically create a very simple and quick login page where basically all the JavaScript creation is taken care of for you by Blackboard. And so that's what I'm going to use in this example. I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to actually use screen sharing to create a custom login page using these widgets, and to show you how simple it is to do it. It does require a little bit of skill with HTML and CSS, but if you know your way around Dreamweaver pretty well, you can get this put out pretty quick. So the kind of the tools that we ended up using, we chose Dreamweaver because it's by far, in my opinion, the best HTML editor and developer that supports the secure WebDAV. And WebDAV is the technology that Blackboard uses to basically allow you to connect to the file system within Blackboard and mount it as like you would another drive on your computer. So it's locally available, and you can get to it just by using your file manager in like XP or Macintosh or the Mac. And then if you prefer an HTML editor that doesn't support WebDAV, if you have an operating system that does, that will work as well, because if you're working in the HTML editor, it's just as if you're working with just another drive on your computer. So the operating systems that do work are Windows XP, Macs, and any Linux-based operating systems. If you use those, those will allow you to connect to WebDAV pretty easily without any pain. The ones that don't work are Windows Vista and Windows 7. Apparently, when Windows Vista came out, their implementation of WebDAV kind of broke, or it's not really compatible with Blackboard's version of how they implemented WebDAV. And so if you're using Windows Vista or Windows 7, your best bet would be to use Dreamweaver, or if you know of another HTML editor that will do secure WebDAV, that's your best bet. And we used Photoshop as our image editing program. Just if you need, to create logos or create any kind of graphics, that's your best bet, is to use Photoshop, in my opinion. And I also used what's called SWBUG extension, and there's kind of a learning curve to the SWBUG extension, but basically what it does is it allows you to go into Firefox and to open up a web page, and then to right-click on any element within an HTML page, and then they include a little link on the right-click menu that says Inspect Element. And basically what it will do is it'll bring up a window that shows you the HTML code as well as the CSS styles that have been applied and what CSS styles cancel out the other CSS styles. So you can do a lot of fine-tuning. And then the nice thing is that rather than previewing it in Firefox and then jumping back into Dreamweaver and making changes, you can make small, minute changes through SWBUG without even saving the file. And so you can fine-tune things, and you can also debug JavaScript. I haven't actually had to use the JavaScript debugger through SWBUG, but from what I've heard, it actually works very well. So a little bit more on WebDAV. Just like algebra, if you've ever had an algebra teacher tell you sometime it'll save your life, it's the same thing with WebDAV. Because, we all do make mistakes. And so WebDAV will allow us, if we have made a change to our login page and it doesn't allow us to log back into Blackboard, at least we have a way to get to that page without authenticating through the login page. And so what that does is that gives you a way that you can either fix it through Dreamweaver, or if you're just completely lost and you don't know what's going on, your best bet is to actually just delete the file. Make sure you have a backup of it. But what's nice is Blackboard's smart enough that if your custom login page fails completely, it will actually fall back to the default login page. So there's a nice redundancy built into Blackboard. And then if you're gonna also link to images or your CSS files or JavaScript that's stored within the Blackboard server, you'll want to use what's called the Relative Resource Manager. And it's basically when you upload a file to Blackboard, it gets assigned a unique ID. And so you can use this unique ID rather than the file name to have the resource located. And so it's a little bit more of an efficient way of referencing your files. And then it's also good to put the regular links in for all those files, like your CSS files. If you're going to edit it in Dreamweaver locally,